Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, we're obviously going to be building a porta potty. I suppose you're saying, why are you in a bathtub? Well, the answer to that's pretty simple. The washing machine was too small. Alright, now here's all the parts to an Armal porta potty. That is the finished product. Let's take a look at this thing. So it's a green one. I wish they would make the doors the same color. The European models, the Armal Waves, they make the front doors the same color as the rest of it. I wish they would do it here in the United States, but they don't for some reason. Maybe Armal's just not popular enough here. But it is a pretty simple operation to put these together. We're gonna run through that. One thing I am not liking about these, this is a new addition, and I believe that is just to support the plastic hinges. They tried this in the past. They made the top and the bottom hinges out of plastic, and they all ended up breaking. So what they had done was they made a new top one out of stainless, and then the bottom they made it out of aluminum. No problems. But I guess saving a few pennies is worth it for them to try to engineer another way to save a few more pennies by going back to plastic pins, plastic hinges, and plastic reinforcement. We'll see how it works out. So here are some tools and supplies you'll need. Drill with that size drill bit. I don't know what size it is. It's whatever size your rivets are. Pneumatic rivet gun. Razor blade for opening up your bags. Phillips screwdriver. That is for twisting a few screws, but also for sticking into holes and twisting to help align everything. Pen for marking a few things. A nut driver, which will go in the drill. It's a 15/16 or 5/16, probably 5/16, and it's only for putting those screws in. Those are for attaching the bowl to the floor. A drill bit with extension, that gets used for when you drill the holes in the toilet paper holders, so that way the chuck for the drill doesn't scrape against this, because it's just not enough space, because you have to drill through this to make your holes. Box of rivets that comes with it. These are covers that dress up a few places. These go inside the porta potty to hide where the spring and hinge thing is. These are covers for the base. They cover the outside. Urinal pipe, urinal, hardware, toilet seat, door hardware. And you'll need a C-clamp or one of those squeeze clamps. That is for the bottom of the door frame to squeeze it against the base, because for some reason they've never fixed that problem. A few generations ago there was a different style of doors and they used lower holes, but they've never fixed it for some reason. Optional equipment: 44 Magnum, belt sander, chainsaw, cut-off saw. I'm just kidding, none of that's useful for any of this. Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Alright, we're going to start out by attaching the bowl to the base. You got your 5 screws. Drill with the bit in there. Now this next step is more of a quality control issue. For some reason with these bases, these holes are for attaching to the walls. and they're never finished out, and sometimes you can push the rivet right through, but other times you can't. It's just a real pain, so I like to go through and just make sure they're all opened up. There's another quality control issue that should have been put back in the melter, but I don't know what's going on here. Doesn't hurt the function, it's just quality control. So the next step, we're gonna put the base of the bowl, we're gonna put the top of the bowl on the tank. And look at that. Oh well. All right, now we're gonna rivet the top of the bowl to the bottom of the bowl. That's kind of tough sometimes because, as you can see, it doesn't quite line up. So you want to get everything started first. So like this one, that's how far that needs to go over. That's just to put your knee against it. Just try your best. Back one's usually easier. All right, next we're gonna put the 3 green walls on. Now again, you want to get all your rivets started before you start using them. So at this stage, it's tempting to push this in, drill your holes and put a rivet in, but don't. If you do that, you will have a wavy corner. What you have to do all the sides, all 3 sides, get them up, zip up the edges, and then do those. We'll make sure first that you overlap these corners, because of the way they're designed, you have to work in a pattern. One corner overlaps the other. I've actually done that before where I overlapped them wrong and had to drill everyone out, and actually I had to drill everyone out, like the whole entire side, because I had to pull the side off and wiggle it in there the right direction. But we're just doing the bottom right now. As you can see, this doesn't exactly fit perfectly right now because of the way the sun makes everything move around, all the plastics. So what I always do is I always start from one edge and work my way over. Because if you start in the middle, you're trying to pull too much. If you start at the edge where it is actually tighter, it's got a little bit of pull, and then this will pull a little more, that'll pull a little more, that'll pull a little less because it won't need it, and that's right where it needs to be. Now for the door frame, we have to overlap this side and underlap this side. Is that a word? It is now. So we'll start by getting this side in there first. There we go. Now I'm gonna show how I have to do the bottom, because like I was saying earlier, the way they designed these, they didn't preform these holes, because the old style doors had holes down here, and they just have never fixed the base for that. I don't know why. The black bases came out after the old style, because the bases, they used to be gray, and that's when they were using the old style where they had the rivets down there. And then the black bases came out when they had switched this door. Because the old style doors, they didn't use these large they didn't use these large hinges up here. They had plastic hinges here and on the door. So you had a little pin and this tiny little plastic hinge piece, and you shoved pins and these little springs in there. And what would happen is the door would fly open in the wind, and it would just take these little pieces of plastic and just rip them off. So I had to replace like 16 door faces from the original styles. But anyway, let's get back to this. So this is where I use the C-clamp. Just try to pull it down tight, just to try to close up this gap. Alright, so that's it for the bottoms. Now we need to start zipping up the sides. And I say zipping up because if you don't zip it, you'll have a wavy corner. Like I've done it before. I put one there and then I stuck one up there just to hold it. Then I jump around and you end up with this corner that's just all wavy. So I found the best way is start at the bottom, work your way up. Start at the bottom, work your way up. I'm not sure if all hydraulic or air hydraulic riveters take 3 strokes to do it. Maybe it's just because I bought a cheap one, but mine takes 3 strokes each time. So that corner was actually pretty tough. I had to employ the screwdriver technique where you stick this in one end and through the other, then pry it down to align them. And I've noticed it's always, when I do this, it's always this corner, but I also always start right there. So maybe next time I'll start right here and see what happens. Maybe I won't need this. Maybe if I end on like that corner or that corner, it'll be different. But now is when we attach the walls to the bowl. So we'll drill here, 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 and here. And for this, I like to start in the center and work my way out. All right, now it's time for the toilet paper holder and our extended drill bit. I like to put it here. Some people put it here. I prefer up here. So that's where I put it. Alright, so now this isn't really an easy part. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the rivet in here and then reach around and hold the toilet paper holder in place and snap the rivet. One. It has this cutout here so it fits right on this swell that's on the wall of the Portapotty. You take your drill bit, put it right through. Take your urinal. Stick it on there. Now it's tempting, and I have done it. So you stick this on here, and you're like, hey, there's a hole here. Maybe I should drill a hole and put a rivet in it. Don't. You do that, and then whatever's in here will leak out of there. It's made to fit just like this. Just a slip fit there, and it only attaches at the top. But I'm pretty sure the first time we got this kind of Portapotty, that's back when they had instructions on VHS tape. I'm pretty sure the VHS tape told me to drill a hole through there and put a rivet in. Maybe I should find that tape and try to watch it sometime, just to see if I was right or wrong. There we go. 3 rivets. If you got more rivets in there, then you got a problem. vent pipe in. Just like that. Come around the back, grab the drill. Alright, next is going to be the door. So we've got the door hardware here. Take the bottom hinge pin, the top hinge pin. Stick that there. This one's got a bevel on it too, so you want to put that down. Just like that. Now before you push that pin down, you need these two pieces. And the reason we had to wait to put in the top rivets was because I got to put this trim piece in the top of the door first before I drill through it. Alright, will that stop it from breaking? Don't think so, but we will see. Okay, now we need to put on the center hinge and spring. Set all my hardware in here to make it easier for me to fumble around with. That's how that hinge should look. Take your other hinge. Okay, both hinges are in. I know it doesn't look right because the door's got a little bit of a bow to it right now. And take your center pin. Take your center hinge pin, and I always snap the top one in, the E-clip. I always snapped it in place. And just kind of force your hinges together. Just drop it down there a little ways. We're going to close it. And now we got to do the spring. Now the spring, it's not easy. You just got to lift this up a little bit. You gotta twist it. That. Get the other E-clip and snap it on the bottom. Take your screwdriver from earlier, the Phillips. Just kind of put your fingers on the nut. that. Now we want to put the inner door handle on. Door latch, you gotta look for this little indentation so it'll fit right in there. Let's put the door handle in next. Alright, you got your open and close indicators, you gotta slide them together. Take your door handle. I like to hold it towards the closed position. They'll end up going like that. Take your outer door handle, put it into that little notch there. All right, now we got to put the screw in there, which I'm going to need an Allen wrench and an 11mm socket wrench. Okay, it was a 10mm deep socket for the nut, and then this is a 5mm Allen wrench. You want it a little bit tight, but not too tight. That's probably about right. Yeah. Now we got this all buttoned up. It comes with this hinge cover, which I don't like this idea because now if that spring breaks, that means you got to bring a drill with you to drill all of these rivets, but it came with it. I might as well put it on there. Alright, now we got these pieces to go on. This is what our marker's for. And again, these are another thing that I don't like. They are required by law because if a porta potty is damaged or dirty or something, you have to be able to lock it. That's why these go on here. But the thing that I don't like about these, and I'll show you after I get them installed. Okay, so what I don't like about these, first of all, they require a long lock to fit them, and then when you open the door, your arm is like this. They really should have put these down here that way, because most people, when they open this, their arm's going to do that. So what I normally do is I take a piece of Gorilla Tape and I just put it right over that. Then if someone needs to lock it, they can just poke a hole in the Gorilla Tape. But that puts a little bit of padding on there for that. All right, now we got to put these covers on. They go on the inside. they have these little notches. Those need to go outwards, otherwise they'll interfere with that webbing there. Put the bottom in first, then the top. Same for the other side. Bottom first. I suppose you could do top first, but that's just the way I do them. There we go. Toilet seat and the little covers for those. Alright. Hinge rod, again I put one E-clip on first. And now it's kind of just a fight to make it go through. I'm gonna grab a hammer. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Take your other E-clip. Alright, we're almost done. Now we gotta put these little covers to dress up these Portapotty feet. I'm not sure how this one's gonna work with all that melting damage, but put it in there. Makes it look better. I'm just gonna do the two back ones. Two extra rivets, so you put them in your extra rivet bucket. It's a lot of extra rivets. It also comes with this. I think it's a coat hanger. I'm pretty sure it's a coat hanger. I have not been able to find any documentation on this. So I haven't decided where to put it yet. If I were to put it on one of these walls, like, well, there's really not a good spot there, but I would have to drill right through this, so I'd have to use a different style rivet. So the only place I can think to use it would be to, like, here or here. Usually I put the hand sanitizer right here, but then if you put it over here, you got the urinal right there. So I think it's going to end up going here, because that's the only spot where there's a, it's a double wall. So I could drill into there and the back sides of the rivets wouldn't be exposed. So I think that's where it's going to have to go. But I'm just undecided right now on that, so I'm going to leave it off for now. Alright, it's all finished. Now for the next step, you need the latest issue of Portable Restroom Operator. I just wanted to finish out that assembly video with the finished product. So I got the stickers on there, I got the coat hanger in there, and I got hand sanitizer. So these stickers, they're actually a temporary sticker. I just print them out and then I clear coat them. So they look good now, but in a month from now they're going to be really faded out from the sun, because this is just water-based ink out of a regular inkjet printer, and it just doesn't hold up to the sunlight, the UV rays. So I'm working on a screen printing setup. I've got the screens, I've got the emulsion, and I haven't bought the ink yet. I'm trying to decide which kind of ink I want to go with. I'll probably end up going with solvent-based, but there's UV ink too, UV cure, and that's really the way to go. But do I really need a sticker that's going to last 10-15 years when the solvent one will make it 5 or 6 for cheaper? And then the UV ink too, it's also a pain to work with, because just the lighting in your house can expose the ink before you're ready to use it. So I just don't know. I'll probably go with solvent based, but I haven't bought the ink yet, so let's take a look inside. So here's where I put the coat hanger and hand sanitizer. It's kind of, I don't know, I kind of talked about this already. I mean, that it's making that crowded, but I couldn't put it over there because then you're drilling all the way to the exterior, and couldn't put it over here because then you got the urinal here. So I guess this will work. I don't think people ever really use them anyway. Let me out. And then the sanitizers, I do rivet them. That's kind of hard to do, to shove that drill bit through there, because now you're putting holes into your brand new porta potty. And what if this sanitizer breaks? You have to get another one. You can't find the exact one, so you stick it in there. You have to drill more holes. But the problem with just gluing them on or taping them on is people will steal them. That sounds really silly, doesn't it? But had it happen, people will steal them if they aren't riveted, so you got to rivet them. So I'm just loading up 6 porta potties for an event, 3 for men, 3 for women. I had some stickers that I could stick on here to symbolize male and female, but I can't find them, so they're just going to have to figure out something there. And I actually have a video, another video that I shot of loading 6 porta potties in my truck. I kind of did a truck tour, but I haven't finished it up yet. I need to work on that. But and ironically, it was 6 orange porta potties, and they're going to the same place that these are going. So that's kind of not that funny, but funny a little bit. So I need to finish that video up. But you can kind of see how I loaded them. I put the porta potty on there, I wheel it up there, and then I just kind of hang it on the edge, and then with 2 hands usually, I push it up there, and I scream and cuss, but I get it up there, strap them down, and on my way. So hopefully I can get my my other video of the tour of my truck, because I kind of went over everything on there, but that's about it. The end.